Hey guys, in this video I roamed the roads of Avalon for 10 hours and tracked the rewards. So my plan for these 10 hours was to enter the roads at the first portal that I saw available, and look for the green solo chests, killing any of the random treasures along the way as well. Now this ended up being a little bit safer than I was originally thinking it would be, as I didn't really meet that many people in the total time, especially when I was doing chests. There's only maybe like 5 to 10 times that I actually met somebody else or another group there that tried to fight me for them, and so I only died a total of 1 time, and that was to a group of gankers. Because when you're killing the mobs for the chest, you're often dismounted with your mount near you. You can generally get away, but if there are actual gankers with a lot of catch gear, you almost have no chance of survival, because even if you get on your mount, by the time you get gallop up, you're probably already caught if they have a lot of catch. However, most of the people that I was running into were other people that were looking to do the chests, and against those people it's actually very easy to get away, even if you do get dismounted or they catch you up before you can dismount. The mobs there actually are really helpful for helping you get away. The little fat tank dudes summon wind walls the first time that you aggro them, which let you essentially walk through that mob, and then the wind wall will go behind you, and you can cut off anyone who's chasing you with that wind wall. I also got 2 kills during these 10 hours of roaming. One was on an AFK dude, so that doesn't really count, but the other one was a nature rat that was trying to contest that chest I was doing, but I was able to burst him down quickly and kill him. So in total I opened 72 chests, of which 28 were the tier 4 chests, 5 were tier 6 chests, and 39 were the tier 8 chests. Now, I wasn't specifically targeting the tier 8 chests, although I was preferring them, doing them over to the tier 4 and tier 6 if I found both of them. So it seems that the tier 8s and the tier 4s are definitely more common than the tier 6 ones. In terms of the chest rarities though, they're actually quite a bit different from the chests I find in solo dungeons, as the common green chests were by far the most common chests at 48 out of the 72, with the uncommon blue ones coming in at 17 and the rare coming in at 7. For solo dungeons, generally you would see the common and uncommon, or the green and blue chest numbers swapped, so the blue chest or uncommon chests are usually the most common chests in solo dungeons, whereas the uncommon green ones aren't quite as common. For the random treasures, however, we see a little bit of a different pattern than the tiers that I had for the chests, with tier 8 still being at the top with 8 random treasures that were tier 8, but there's also 5 tier 7s and 5 tier 6 random treasures and 2 tier 4s. The thing about the random treasures in the road, differently to the ones in the open world, is that they usually don't drop anything. Actually, they don't drop any of the city artifacts that the open world ones usually do, but seem to rather drop rare items a little bit more often. For example, I got the 8-2 night boots from a random treasure. For the fame, all of the mobs give quite a lot of fame. I mean, even the tier 4 ones give almost, I think it's 4,000 to 5,000 per mob. So the total fame that I got in these 10 hours was just shy of 6.5 mil at 6.49, which puts us to around 650k fame per hour. Now this isn't as much as you'd get if you were actually fame farming in dungeons, but it is still quite a very large number for any sort of open world farming. Okay, so moving on to take a look at the loot here, I've separated it into 2 tabs, one for the gear and one for all the other stuff, as well as the stuff in my inventory that doesn't have a great estimated market value, or doesn't have an estimated market value. So starting with the gear here, there's a huge variety in the quality of gear that I received. You can see there's a lot of random flat 4 stuff and a lot of absolute bangers. Got a 60 quarterstaff, 60 claymore, an 8-2 great curse, which is insane, an 8-1 great nature, which I killed somebody for. Just a whole lot of variety in the 8-2 night boots as well. A huge variety from flat 4 to 8.2. It's it varies quite a lot. Moving on to some of the other stuff here, capes and bags a little bit, satchels a little bit, 96 tomes of insight, so it seems like that's a pretty consistent drop from a lot of the chests and the mobs. Is tomes of insight, almost 100 there. Maps as well, you can get a little bit. Artifacts, this is obviously going to vary in price quite a bit depending on which artifacts you got. I got some pretty decent ones, some weapon ones, which is always a little bit more, actually 3 of the metallic hand artifacts. And then also some like tier 7s and 6s will just be able to sell for quite high just because they're salvage price. Runes and relics and things, I got 11 tier 8 relics, which is quite a bit of money. And then the Avalonian shards, a little bit of tier 7s, but then quite a bit of tier 5s and 4s, 84 tier 4s, 45 tier 5s, and then some other random treasure stuff and Avalonian energy, which just seems to only get tier 6s out of that for Avalonian energy. So altogether, if the gear total is just around 5 mil there, 5.02, the total for the miscellaneous stuff, everything else really, is around 12.8 mil there. In my inventory here, I have around 2.42 mil with a 250k sextant there, which is pretty good. Which brings our total price check to just over 20 mil at 20.24 mil for all of it combined. Now, mind you, I also had 1 death, and my gear is worth around 400k. This setup's worth around 400k, so it brings our actual profit just under 20 mil at 19.84 mil. This puts our profit per hour at just shy of 2 mil per hour at 1.98 mil per hour. So how good is it to roam the road solo? Well, 2 mil an hour means it's pretty good activity for money. I mean, I think 2 mil an hour is around my standard for what good money per hour looks like, so hitting that is pretty big. And as a bonus, you also get a decent amount of fame at 650k per hour, so I would say it's actually a pretty good activity. You could even bring higher tier gear than I was running because, frankly, it's not actually as dangerous as I initially thought it would be. Now, there's a chance that the artifact prices go down a little bit over the next little while, so it might not be quite as good in the future if these prices stabilize at a little bit lower than what they are right now, but still, I'm getting quite a bit of money from the, runes and relics and the just the bags of silver even, and obviously the gear was quite a bit of money as well, so I think it could be quite a good activity to do as a solo player. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss on any future videos.